Well, I have to say the YouTube community is somewhat helpful to me in procuring cars now, for better or worse. This was sent to me by a viewer who was on Facebook Marketplace, my favorite place to get cars, as I tell everyone, in the suburbs of Chicago. And it's a car that has 17,000 miles on it. It's just a base 1974 Marquis, but it's factory black with a black interior. And these cars were super rare in 1974. They're one-year-only styling. They have a unique front end and rear end to them that did not exist before or after. That taillight treatment in the rear end panel was all new in 74, and that trunk lock cover returned as well. Just a handsome car, beautiful car. It needs to be polished. There's a few little dents and dings, but nothing that can't be fixed. Just looks stunning in black. And this is a base Marquis. It's not a Marquis Brougham, so it doesn't have the fender peak molding that the Marquis Brougham, like the one in the inset, had. It doesn't say Brougham on the sail panel. Just has the standard brocade cloth, no armrest, seats, crank windows. Doesn't have too many options aside from air conditioning, the body side molding, appearance protection group, the bumper guards, tinted glass, and that's about it. I wish it had a few more options, but you can't go down to your local Lincoln Mercury dealer and order one of these anymore, so you kind of got to take what you can get. And in 1974, they barely made any of these base Marquis coupes. And this is one of just 82, according to the Marty report, that was painted black. And it's one of, I believe, 14 that were painted black with a black interior. That's it. So this is likely the only black Marquis coupe left in existence. And it's a 17,000-mile example, owned by the grandmother of the individual that I bought it from. You can see here I'm at an auto repair shop in the suburbs of Chicago. And this car was basically sitting inside this auto repair shop. It was the owner's car. And it's really not been on the road since about 1986, 1987, aside from a few drives here and there. So it'll need a bit of work, but I think this car looks just absolutely stunning in all black. Very sinister. Love the brocade pattern there on the cloth. Great dash, especially in black. And here it is a few days earlier when it was still inside the shop. Now, a number of you asked me how I find cars, and as I said, this one was on Facebook Marketplace, and a YouTube viewer sent me the link. It's been posted for a few days, and when I saw a black 74 Mercury Marquis, I definitely got weak in the knees. These cars, to me, are just about perfection in terms of the way that they drive. The quality is also quite good, aside from some niggles, generally related to the carburetor, as well as the torque pins and the window motors. But aside from that, these cars are pretty gosh darn reliable. So when this one was sent to me and I saw that it was factory black, I knew it was a rare car, and I knew that in black it was especially rare. Most of these were browns, golds, greens, things like that, those wonderful 70s colors. I knew I had to go at least check it out, and the car is just in phenomenal condition overall. It needs some work. The driver's side window is stuck down. On these manual windows, sometimes the regulator roller breaks. I think that's what's happened here, just because the car was sitting for so long and somebody probably tried to operate the window and it broke. I thought the owner was asking a fair price. She negotiated with me a bit on it. And that's kind of how you have to buy these cars at good prices. Usually needing a little bit of work. They've been off the road for some time. You can tell this one needs a little bit of polishing. Here it's quite dusty. It's been just sitting in the shop for many, many years. But it'll clean up super nicely. And I'll get a few little pock marks on the back here, quarter panel, fixed, but no big deal. So for those of you who are asking, how do you find cars like this? You got to just keep looking on Facebook Marketplace. Don't assume that you can just go out there one day and find one of these cars at a good price. It's just not going to happen. You have to keep searching, often for months and months, particularly if you want a specific model vehicle. It's going to take months, if not maybe a year plus of searching. I often look at Facebook Marketplace a couple times a week and don't find anything, and then all of a sudden something like this will pop up, and then when you see it, you have to move on it quickly. So you can't diddly-dally. If it's a car that you want, you need to go see it. You need to determine if you want it. You need to figure out what kind of price you're willing to pay given the work that it needs, and then make an offer and see how it goes. In this case, the owner and I both were a little bit apart. I ended up walking away from the deal one day, and then a few days later, we were able to strike a deal. We both compromised a little bit, and that's generally how it works. So don't give up in your hunt. It takes perseverance. Like I said, particularly if you're looking for a car like this that was a rare car back when it was new and is an even more rare car today. Now, I've since got this car home and started cleaning it up, washing, waxing it, steam cleaning the interior, etc., just getting all the years of dust off of it. And one thing I did, you notice this has the standard wheel covers on it that are pretty plain Jane, and I don't think they make the car stand out all that much. So I've already put a set of, I'll call them near NOS factory turbine vane wheel covers on the car, and it looks all that much better. So here's a few photos of what it looks like now, slightly cleaned up. Here first is a picture with the standard wheel covers. I think they look okay. But now check out this photo with the optional turbine vane wheel covers. In my opinion, it looks just so much jazzier with these optional turbine vane wheel covers. The black, chrome, and the red center complement each other very well. And the red also complements the trunk lock cover. So especially sharp-looking vehicle in this color combination. And here's a side view of it. Just a great-looking car with a very sinister profile, especially in black. So stay tuned for a full review of this vehicle in comparison to some of the other cars in the stable, other Mercurys, Lincolns, Buicks, Oldsmobiles, who knows what it'll be pitted up against. And one final photo, this view of just the front of the car. I just love that front end and the grille and the hidden headlights. And yes, it's a big bumper car, but to me, these big bumpers don't really take away from the style of the car. The front end is so massive and in your face that the bumper, to me, is at least in keeping with characteristic of the overall front end theme. Certainly not a dainty front end. And it's very Lincoln-esque with Mercury spelled out in block letters just for this year only. That was not true in 73. They had a little script Mercury off to the side on the driver's side. And in 75, it didn't have those block letterings either. So 1 year only look. And I think it's a great look. And for those who are Hawaii 5.0 fans, very, very similar to the car that was on the original series, which was a black 74 Marquis Brougham four-door hardtop as opposed to a coupe. Thanks again for watching. Stay tuned. And until next time, take care.